Hey there, it's me again. Consider the possibilities. Today we're talking about desire versus discipline. Or as my favorite girl, Jess Sims from Peloton says, and a big shout out to Jess Sims, by the way, it's a decision, not a feeling. What does it mean exactly when I say desire versus discipline? It's a feeling. It's a decision, not a feeling. It means that sometimes life sucks and we just have to decide that we're going to do something and push through. It's sort of like waiting or not waiting for someone to say, or for your body to say, "Oh, I'm in the mood to go to the gym," or "I'm in the mood to do this," or don't feel like going." I get that from one particular person in my life a lot. She and I are wired very, very differently, but I didn't feel like going. Well, okay. What are the implications of you not going to your friend's wake? What are the implications of not going to visit your sister? What are the implications of not going to the gym? What are the implications of not starting your medication? What are the implications of not feeling like you want to go on that regimen that you know is going to work for your life and your body and everything else? These are all times when we have to decide whether or not, and again, I will use the word decide. It's a choice. We have agency. I keep saying this, talk about a lot in my book. It's this idea that we decide that we're going to do a certain thing. I don't think any Olympic athlete, any high performing individual wakes up 100% of the time saying, "Yeah, I want to put myself through all sorts of torture and testing and sometimes pain to today." No, they have a goal and they decide that that's what they want to do and they prioritize it. And that's what I'm suggesting that we do with our decisions. It's it's not like you're going to feel like getting up out of bed at 6 a.m. to go to the gym to do your thing to so that you feel better and you look better and you show up better and you know that it's good for you. It's not going to be a feeling. Okay. So let's just stop giving ourselves this thing about, I don't want to, I don't feel like it. If it's important to you, then reframe the discussion. It's not a feeling, it's a decision, it's a choice. You decided that you wanted to be fill in the blanks, fit, healthy, high performing, better at something. You wanted to learn something. You wanted to learn a new language. You wanted to learn how to play tennis. You said that at one point. You decided that at one point, and now you have to put the wheels in motion. You have to make the action plan actually happen. And without that action plan, it's just a thought. And if you don't say it out loud, it's just a wish, it's a dream, it's not real. Until you put your feet on the ground and start to move, it's just a thought. And thoughts don't do anything. Action accomplishes something. So again, when you say to yourself, "I don't feel like doing this," then you have to say, "Did I make a promise to myself to do something at one point in time that I had at that point decided was a priority?" You see, what happens when you break promises to yourself is you feel really shitty. It's almost as bad, if not worse, than breaking your promises to somebody else that you know and love. If you tell your friend you're going to show up at 11 and you show up at 12, that really sucks. I mean, if it were me, I wouldn't be waiting for an hour for you to show up. I would be asking you why you're not there, right? So that's integrity with your word. Well, the same kind of integrity with your word has to be kept with yourself. So if you make a decision and you have to wrap discipline around it. You have to wrap action around it. You have to wrap what is it that I need to do within that decision to make it happen. If it's to be fit, then what are the action steps that that has me being fit? Does that mean I need to get out of bed earlier? Does it mean I need to set an alarm? Does it mean that I have to put my clothes out the night before so I'm not tempted to roll over and go back to sleep? Does it mean that I need to stop watching TV a half an hour earlier? Or does it mean that I have to, what does it mean? Think about what it means to do the thing you said you wanted to do. And then what does it mean when you don't and you don't keep your promise to yourself? Doesn't it feel like shit? I know it does for me. When I say something out loud or to other people and I share something, for instance, I want to re-engage my fluency in Spanish. I know that I speak Spanish, I can speak Spanish, but it's rusty. So knowing that I'm going to be in Spain in February, I knew that I needed to practice my Spanish. So what did I have to do? Well, I had to get a Babbel subscription. I had to download the app and put it on my phone. I had to, and they're brilliant. All these apps are brilliant. You set up reminders, you set up goals for yourself. I want to achieve this level of fluency by this date. Backing that truck up, what does that mean? It means I have to do X number of lessons per week for X length of time. In my case, I committed to myself that I would do a half an hour every day, 7 days a week. I would set an alarm so that it goes off at 8 o'clock in the morning so that I can get that done before my day begins. And then if that doesn't happen for whatever reason, let's say I have to go into the city for a meeting or I have to do something else, then I know that by that night before I go to bed, that alarm hasn't been cleared and I know I'm going to get to it. And when I don't, so far it hasn't happened. It's been at this for 4 days. But at this rate, I will achieve my goal. So I have decided. I don't have a feeling every day to be like, oh, I want to do a half an hour of crazy lessons. I don't ever wake up saying, I feel like doing this. I also don't wake up every day saying, I feel like working out for X amount of time. I don't typically feel like doing a lot of things that I do, but I overcome that by looking at the end game and looking at the end game as the goal and then what it is that I need to do as the steps to that goal. Because the macro accomplishment relies on these micro decisions. I talk about this a lot in my book. It's the micro moments, the micro decisions that literally have compounded interest. And without those little micro decisions, you never get to the goal. So I want you to be thinking about a goal that you have and a thing where you said, I don't feel like it. And I want you to unpack it and say, what is keeping you from getting to that accomplishment? And what is it that you can break down in micro chunks, micro moments that you can accomplish every day that gets you to that goal eventually, whatever length of time it's going to take you? You can't eat an elephant in one bite. You got to chop it up. You got to do it one bite at a time. So think about this as the desire versus discipline. It's a decision, not a feeling. I leave you with that. Food for thought. Consider the possibilities. Make it a great day. Bye.